We are going to do a comparison between my Glock 43X and my Sig Sauer P365XL. These are two very popular concealed carry firearms, and what I wanted to do today is to get these out here on the range and actually talk about why these are the smallest guns that I would feel comfortable carrying. There's some very key points I wanted to look at when discussing these two guns, and these are some things that you're going to want to consider when you're trying to decide on the concealed carry firearm that fits you best. So stick with us. I would appreciate it before we get started if you would give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, check out the links down below this video as well. So let's get started. To start off, let's just go ahead and put some rounds down range. I've got my steel target down there. We're back at about approximately 10 yards, and we're just going to see if we can wake that steel up today. Flawless function, no problem whatsoever, runs great. Let's move on to the Sig. Okay guys, here we are, my Sig P365XL. Same routine, steel target down range. Let's see if we can ring it. Okay, that is my 365, and one of the differences that you're going to notice obviously is the ammo capacity. The 365XL standard ammo capacity is 12 rounds, while the Glock 43X, the standard capacity on it is 10 rounds. However, you can get aftermarket magazines for the Glocks, but I don't recommend them. If you guys go back on my channel, I actually showed a video as far as why you do not want to use aftermarket magazines within your Glock pistols. I know there's a lot of companies out there making them, but guys, you're not going to get a more reliable magazine for your Glock than the factory Glock mag. If you guys disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. The Sig Sauer P365XL, it's one that there are a lot of modular options. In fact, Sig has come out with the X Macro version that is a 17 round capacity. The good thing about the 365XL, the macro magazines are available from Sig, and you can use them in the XL frame. Again, very good option depending on what you're wanting to do with your particular setup, your particular concealed carry setup. And there goes one of my earplugs. But what I mainly wanted to talk about in this video, guys, is why these would be the smallest guns that I would ever carry. One thing that you will notice about this firearm, and yes, we are in a safe environment, with this particular gun, the Sig Sauer P365, I am still very able to get a full grip on that gun. That's something that you need to be aware of no matter what type of firearm that you're going to carry. If you cannot get a good grip on that gun, you are not going to be as accurate with it, you're not going to be as proficient with it. You can see here, my Glock 43X, the same way. I can get a full, solid grip on that gun. I have no problem getting a good purchase to where I can get that gun locked in to where it needs to be when I am shooting. If you do not have a good grip on your gun, you're not going to be as accurate, you're not going to be as proficient with it. So that's something that you want to consider. I know there are a lot of folks out there that will go out and buy these super subcompact pistols to where 2 or 3 of their fingers are hanging off of the end of that gun, and they are not going to be accurate with it. Okay, the best way that you can find out whether or not that gun is going to work for you is to get it out to the range and shoot it. If you're not accurate with it, if it feels like it's going to jump out of your hand, then that is not a firearm for you. For me, as I'd mentioned earlier, this is the smallest gun that I will carry, my 365XL. You can see that it is a slightly smaller grip than my Glock 43X. However, I still am able to get a full, solid grip on the gun. But what I'm going to do now is we're actually going to drop the camera down, and I'm actually going to show you a little bit of a side-by-side comparison between these two pistols. Okay guys, for you safety sallies out there, I have done a bunch of research and I have come to the conclusion that under no circumstances whatsoever has anyone ever been shot through a camera lens. So you do not have to worry about what you're seeing me do here in this video. But we are unloaded with both of these firearms. They're both clear. But I wanted to show you them as far as the size comparison. That way you can get a better understanding of some of what I'm talking about here. The first thing that I want to look at is the grips. Okay, you can see my 365XL here on the left. You can see very obviously that it does have a little bit shorter grip. However, there are 2 additional rounds in the standard 365XL compared to the Glock 43X. You get 10 rounds in the 43X, you get 12 rounds in the 365XL. Just to show you a little more of the profile of these guns together, you can see here exactly how Sig is able to achieve some of that toward the front of the grip. These guns are very similar. You know, there is a little bit of a difference, but not much. Most of that difference can be made up in just the magazine base plate being a little bit different. But then Sig has a little bit of a curvature on the back of the grip here that gives a little bit shorter grip to the 365XL. Okay, and you can see I'm holding them as accurately as I can as far as keeping them even. The overall length between these 2 guns, you can see that it is pretty much the same. There is just a little bit of a difference, but not much overall. Both of these are very, very good concealed carry options, and I know that there's probably some folks out there that are going nuts right now because of the way that I am holding these 2 guns. If you look closely at these guns, you will see that they do have a couple of little nicks and scratches, as well as they are not the cleanest, and that is because these guns are tools. These are guns that I will carry with me on a very regular basis. They are a very reliable gun, and that is one of the first things that I look for in any firearm is reliability. If it's not reliable, it is not going to serve your purposes. Now, as far as your grips, one of many of the reasons why you want to make sure that you have a good grip on that gun is recoil mitigation. Okay, if you cannot manage that recoil, you are not going to be accurate. Some of these small guns, these subcompact guns where you cannot get a good grip on them, you are not going to be able to manage that recoil as effectively as you need to be. Okay, that is something that is a very strong consideration. Some folks believe these guns are too small. I would not go any smaller, because in a situation to where you may need one, you know, all guns may be a little too big for concealed carry, but none of them are too big if you ever have to use one. Okay, so get one that works. Get one that you are accurate with, that you are proficient with. Guys, what I'm going to do now is actually take both of the guns again just to show you the recoil of them. I've got 5 rounds loaded in each of the guns. Just going to shoot them here a little bit more of a close-up on the camera, and that way you can see why I will not go any smaller than these 2 guns. The recoil management on these, it is still very manageable, still easy to control. So first up is my Glock 43X, 5 rounds, and then we're going to go to my Sig P365XL. So here we go. Okay, there's my Glock 43X. Okay, no problem with it whatsoever. You guys can see how the recoil was with it. Now we're bringing up the Sig 365XL. Same process. Okay, get you guys in focus here, and you can see there again, guys. That's just a little bit of a quick comparison for you all, where you can see the little bit of a difference in the muzzle flip. Me, even with the 365XL, personally, I do believe that it has just a slight bit more muzzle flip, just due to that shorter grip, but at the same time, nothing uncontrollable. Compared to my Glock 43X, I have no problem whatsoever with that, because I am able to get just that little bit more of my grip of the palm of my hand on that grip compared to the 365XL. You can see I still do not have as much contact right there for my hand. Still though, very manageable, very controllable. Now what I wanted to do is show you a comparison between the triggers of these two guns. First up is my Glock 43X. We currently do not have a magazine in it, and the chamber is empty. Glocks are known for their triggers as far as being inconsistent at times. Some people don't mind the Glock triggers, some people hate them. There can be some inconsistencies between different guns, all of the same series. It really depends, but everyone knows how Glocks are. Even with that, they are still very reliable. Now the Glock trigger, the trigger on the 43X, as usual, typical Glock. You can see there we have the sponginess till we hit that wall. Once we hit that wall right there, we press through that brake. Okay, the reset, you can see the reset on it. If I reset that trigger, the reset on it is about right there. Okay, that is the reset. And again, we go. Now the Sig 365XL, same process. We do not have a magazine in the gun. The chamber is empty. There is a little bit of sponginess to that trigger as well, possibly just a slight amount more of take up. Now this gun does have the flat trigger in it. When I press the trigger, again it's still spongy. I hit that wall right there. I break the wall. I'll have to say my 365XL, when you break that wall, it is just a little bit spongier than my Glock 43X. Okay, the reset is right there. Okay, you can kind of see how close that is. But still, it's a very nice trigger. Not the best trigger in the world, but still very nice, particularly when you consider the size of these two firearms. You know, these firearms, for what they are, for what they do, I mean, they are a very small firearm, and are still one that you can get your grip on. You know, that's the main thing, guys. That's, I want to emphasize. If you cannot get a grip on it, you do not need to carry it. Okay guys, what I'm going to do now is actually bring you all behind the guns. First up is my Glock 43X. I have got the XS 3-dot tritium sights on this gun. I will put a link to those down in the description below. I am not going to be able to guarantee that I'm going to be able to hit that target, guys, because the way the lighting is out here and me trying to focus through the viewfinder of this camera, it is very difficult, but we're going to see what we can do. I've got 5 shots in each gun. First up, my Glock 43X. This way, maybe you'll get a little better understanding of the recoil on this gun. Okay, so here we go. Okay, that was my Glock 43X. So now let's move on to my Sig 365XL. Here we are, guys. Here is my Sig Sauer P365XL. Same thing, guys. The lighting is terrible when trying to look through the viewfinder, so I'm probably not going to hit these shots. But if it gives you a little bit better of an understanding of the recoil difference of these guns, so be it. So here we go. Okay, that is the 365XL. Hopefully you guys were able to see how those two guns were performing, and you know, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Guys, the one thing that I hope you take away from this video is that you need a firearm that is going to fit your hands properly. You need one that is going to be able to be controllable. You need to be able to get a solid grip on that gun. If you are not able to get a good grip, as I mentioned earlier, you're not going to be as accurate with that firearm. Okay, but guys, hope you liked the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Be sure to check out all of the videos on my channel. Be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, check out the links down in the description, visit my website at boomsticktactical.com, and we'll see you next time.